peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
A very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us. This is Diaspora Dispatches. My name is Miriam Goto, and it is a pleasure. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in today. And we start with Mozambique, where Mozambique has received a first batch of 200,000 COVID-19 vaccine doses from the Chinese government. The vaccines by Sinopharm were received on Wednesday by Prime Minister Carlos Agostinho dos Santos at the Maputo International Airport. The Prime Minister said the government was working on getting more COVID-19 vaccines. Meanwhile, the health authorities have reported the lowest number of COVID-19 deaths in the country between Tuesday and Wednesday since the beginning of the year. We come back to Kenya and Tanzania, and Kenya has denied its athletes clearance to compete at the Kilimanjaro Marathon in Tanzania over concerns about the COVID-19 pandemic. The IAAF recognized race will be held early Sunday morning at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, the tallest mountain in Africa. Kenyan athletes have dominated previous editions of the race. In a statement, Athletics Kenya urged all athletes not to travel to Tanzania for the event. Tanzania has not been sharing data on the coronavirus situation in the country, and until recently had been downplaying the pandemic. The World Health Organization earlier this week urged Tanzania to start reporting coronavirus cases and share its data. We head over to Ethiopia, where one of the 15 Ethiopian United Nations peacekeepers who on Monday refused to board a flight home after their tour in South Sudan ended has told the BBC that they were afraid for their lives. The soldier, who asked to remain anonymous, is from Tigrayan ethnic community. He said that since war broke out last November in Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray, Tigrayan soldiers have been discriminated against and targeted. On Tuesday, a senior Ethiopian military official accused the 15 soldiers who were part of a group of 169 of tarnishing the image of the army and the country. He also accused the United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR, which is providing protection for the 15 soldiers, of spreading disinformation. Now, if your own soldiers are afraid to come back home, Ethiopia, there's something going on in Ethiopia there that is not really right, and perhaps soon we should talk about it. But for now, let's move on to the Central African Republic. And the Prime Minister of the Central African Republic says its forces had captured Bosangoa, the stronghold of the former President Francois Bozize, who's accused of leading an uprising that has seized more than half of the country. Mr. Bozize, who denies controlling the rebels, fled Central African Republic in 2013 after being overthrown by mainly Muslim rebels. He returned just over a year ago to stand as a candidate in December's presidential elections, but was disbarred because of allegations of murder and torture. His current whereabouts are unknown. The latest advance is a further indication that a counter-offensive led by foreign troops, chiefly from Rwanda and Russia, is turning the tide of the campaign. And then we head over to Nigeria, where a deadly attack by Boko Haram in the northeast of Nigeria killed at least 16 people, including children who were playing football in a field. Local militia said on Wednesday attacks by the groups are usually foiled after fierce gun battles with Nigerian security forces, but the jihadists fired rocket-propelled grenades on residential areas on Tuesday. Now, one of the neighborhoods, Gwange, 9 boys were killed when explosive landed in a field where they were playing football, and the leader of the self-defense militia group in that area has said in many parts of Nigeria, communities have resorted to relying on armed vigilantes or militias who work alongside the army for defense. On Wednesday, the governor of Nigeria's Borno state visited the scores of injured people in the volatile city of Maiduguri. It is the latest deadly attack by the insurgents after they blew up supply lines, cutting off electricity and water for Maiduguri residents. How does a whole militia, how does I can't imagine, because we also have problems with Boko Haram, with the Al-Shabaab here in East Africa, and they've tried to cause a lot of insecurity and peace in the northern part of our country. You know, they hail from Somalia, our neighboring country there. But I cannot imagine when it comes to a point where Al-Shabaab takes a hold of a part of that country, and then they're able to cut off water and electricity and some other basic, important, essential services. Where is the government of Nigeria? That is the question I ask here, that I cannot wrap my mind around it. So Boko Haram has cut supply of water and electricity in Maiduguri, in this region. How? Where is the army? What is happening? Why are Nigerians not asking these questions and demanding for accountability from their leadership? I do not understand how that is even possible in a country that calls itself sovereign. I don't get that. I really don't. And we move to another something that I really don't understand, but perhaps, I don't know, involving Morocco and Namibia, because the two have now been removed from the European Union's list of tax havens after successfully implementing reforms to bring their tax systems up to the EU's required standards. So an African country, and I do understand the EU, they do their things very well, and it's wonderful, and you know, but they also have their own problems. So it's not like the systems in the countries in the European Union there is perfect. So these two have been removed from the tax havens, countries, I think, where the tax the system was sort of messed up. So now, as an African, I don't understand. They've been removed from this list because they've met the EU's required standards. What happened to the African Union's required standards? Come on now. Come on now. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. Now, in a statement on Monday, the EU, however, said the island nation of Seychelles, Botswana, and Eswatini are still on the list. The countries on this list have refused to engage in dialogue with the EU to address the shortcomings in good tax governance. The statement noted in February last year, the EU granted Namibia and Morocco an extension to continue reforms already undertaken since 2019 to adopt their tax laws to the requirements of the institution. The deadline expired August 31st and December 31st. Subsequently, in 2020, I do not understand. I don't get it. I don't know how that even makes sense to the EU standards. Well, I do appreciate the importance of having a good governance and accountability and all that in our system, and having strong institutions, and we know the taxing system in a country is very important. But now, an outside body should not be coming to your country as an African country and tell you, until you meet our standards, we're going to have a problem with you. And now these nations have been removed. Come on now. Okay, move over to, it's just the African in me is just finding trouble accepting or just even reading some of these items here. What happened to our sovereignty, man? We've been independent for over 60 years now. Does that even count for anything? Okay, let's go to the DRC, where the Democratic Republic of Congo has banned the travel of ambassadors and heads of diplomatic missions outside the capital Kinshasa without prior authorization. The decision follows the deadly attack on the convoy of the Italian ambassador Luca Atanasio in Kimbumba area near the city of Goma, North Kivu in eastern DRC. On Tuesday, President Felix Tshisekedi made the decision at the presidential palace during a special security meeting with the country's foreign minister, deputy defense minister, and security officials. His emissary was also received in the North Kivu region. The province of North Kivu, where the attack took place, is considered as one of the most dangerous parts in the DRC, bordering the Virunga National Park. But according to humanitarian officials, the route on which the convoy was traveling did not require an escort. Ambassador Luca Atanasio and his security escort Victoria Yakovachi were among 7 people traveling into World WFP, that is the World Food Program, vehicles from Goma, capital of North Kivu province, to visit one of the agency's school feeding programs in Rutshuru, approximately 40 kilometers away. And so, yeah, we saw Italian ambassador to the DRC died after an attack there. So also, there's a lot of things going on there in the DRC. And we've seen the North Kivu area, a lot of militant activities has been going on, being blamed on certain countries that are also acting in fueling the crisis there in the DRC. It's just sad. And then we end with Uganda. And on Wednesday, in what seemed to be an indication of President Joe Biden's foreign policy outlook and approach to Uganda, the spokesperson of the U.S. Department of State, Ned Price, said that America will consider targeting anyone who got involved in alleged irregularities that underpinned the January 14th general election in Uganda. However, the government spokesperson Ofono Opondo yesterday told New Vision that if there are any concerns about the Ugandan electoral process, the U.S. government should raise them in writing. Ofono added that the U.S. should first fix their loopholes that marred their recent electoral process before making any attempt to rectify mistakes in a far-off country. The loophole that marred the U.S. election, Mr. Ofono, that loophole is Donald Trump, who is no longer president of the United States. Do you understand? The government spokesperson in Uganda. Yes, so that is what happened, and he's no longer the president there. Okay, so it's quite interesting. So yeah, so let's see how that will play out. From what the U.S. said there about the elections are concluded were done on the 14th of January. Ugandan elections, we know what happened. And on just a few days ago, opposition leader Bobi Wine withdrew his petition from the Supreme Court because he said there will be no free and fair judgment coming from that court. And I think the rest of the world agrees with him. All right, so one of our viewers here, you're saying everything happening in Nigeria is from the Fulani government in Nigeria. Okay, but the insecurity in Nigeria is really quite worrying. If people are not being abducted, then people are being killed. Now children have been killed playing in a field. When will Nigerians decide enough is enough? How does people just sit pretty and think this is not their problem, and when one part of the country is burning, the other one feels? Where is the disconnect? What is happening in Nigeria? Because this is not right. Even children, 9 boys were killed while playing football in a field, in a local field somewhere in their village. And a grenade was thrown on their way by jihadist group Boko Haram in a residential area, and they killed people. If Nigerians, I've gone online, I've not seen hashtags, to call for better. They've been so immune to this, they're so used to this, that is not even a problem. And that is the part that is really worrying for the rest of us. Nigerians should demand more from President Buhari in terms of their security, because there is none. There's parts of that country where Boko Haram is running their own game and their own ways there. And you wonder, where is the government? The children cannot even play in the field now. They're being killed. Where is the government? Where is the security forces there in Nigeria? It's just worrying and sad. And to see that this is a story, that this is something that keeps happening over and over and over and over until people have been desensitized, that I think is the most worrying part for me. All right. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Diaspora Dispatches. I am Miriam Ogutu. A very good afternoon to you, and bye-bye for now.
must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.